This honing video includes the use of a case razor company, Temperite razor from the 1940s or 50s. I have this kiita stone here. It's not a big thick stone, but it does have very good sharpening powers. I have a matching tomonagura, and I'm going to use this diamond plate to set the bevel. Although the bevel's already set, but I'm going to demonstrate how I do it. I use diagonal strokes, and I use the same number of strokes on each side. Therefore, we have wear on the razor on both sides at the same rate. So I'll wipe the razor off. By the way, I did coat the spine of the razor with Kapton tape. You can buy it on eBay. So here's what the bevel on the razor looks like right now. It's made up of long, deep scratches. That DMT diamond plate is at number 600. So these scratches represent what a DMT 600 would look like, magnified at 300 power. So I'm going to take a photo of that just for our memory bank. Okay, so next thing is we're going to approach this stone because it's thin. I would recommend that from this DMT, number 600, to go to a 1K or a 5K or intermediate stone of some sort of synthetic before I went to my kiita here. This is not, like I said, this is 16 millimeters thick. There is a lot of years left in this, but if you start to use a diamond plate, it might prematurely wear out the stone or sooner than you might think. But for our demonstration here, I'm going to take a piece of kiita tomonagura, and I'm going to just make a slurry with the two stones, the two Japanese natural stones. And we'll just follow the progress. So I have a little bit of a pasty slurry here. And this is a thinner stone or a narrower stone. I would normally use it as a handheld stone. You can see the slurry getting dark already with iron swarf. Don't forget to treat the heel and the toe with a little bit of extra effort. On these narrow stones, you do have to do a little bit of manipulation so that all of the blade gets covered. Okay, so that was just a minute or a minute and a half on the stone. And these straight strokes will represent straight or nondescript strokes through the microscope as opposed to the diagonal strokes from the DMT. Okay, so I'm going to save some of the slurry. Just a finger touch of water. I have a bath of clear water here. Okay, so this switch changes the viewing from the binoculars viewing to my computer. Okay, so with just the few strokes that we did there on the kiita, we removed the majority of those long dark scratches from the DMT. And just to refresh your memory, here's how the scratches looked as we began. I have to use a mouse here. Here are those scratches, and these are similar of what you might get from like a King 1000 or any bevel setting type of stone. Okay, so I'll scroll along. We're looking for any of those scratches that might have been left from the DMT, and we're not really seeing any. Okay, because we use circular strokes, the edge of the razor is somewhat ragged looking, and we can straighten that out, and I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to go back to the stone. And what I would normally do to straighten up that edge, I'm going to make a little bit of a fresh slurry. It doesn't have to be much, but we're going to use edge leading strokes. With edge leading strokes, as the wave of slurry builds up in front of the edge of the razor, the predominant amount of cutting is occurring at the edge rather than at the spine or the middle of the bevel. So that's one reason if you use edge leading strokes, the slurry being at its freshest with each pass, although that freshness diminishes, but it has the greatest cutting power, and it has the most chance of wearing down that false edge or that feather edge, as some people call it. Okay, and here's the progress that we are able to make there. And that is lint on the edge. I didn't wipe the razor off well enough, but here's essentially what our edges come up to look like right now. Okay, the next step I would do with this hone and this particular razor is I would begin to dilute the slurry content on the stone surface. So I'm going to do that. We'll just do a dip and hone. So there's still some slurry left on the razor right now. Do another dip. And I'm assuming there's less slurry now on the hone. And now there would be even less. And this is going to brighten up the blade. And it's going to thin out that false edge. And here's what we've progressed to right now. So you can see the edge actually is straighter, and the refinement has started to shape the edge as a thinner but still geometrically sound edge. Okay, so my next step would be, I have a leather strop, and it's nothing to brag about. Most everybody has a strop at least as good as mine or better. So I'm going to strop the razor a few times. And what this does is it energizes the edge to become even thinner. And whatever false edge there was there, or feather edge, it will help to braid that just a bit. All leather has silica in it. It's the nature of leather. Horses, cows eat grass. Grass has silica in it. And all all strops have some abrasive power. You don't need to charge it with any paste or anything to have some subtle changes. Okay, so here we're at after, that was like 15 passes on the strop. And we're at this stage now. Next, and I'll just move along here. I'm going to go back to the stone. And we're just going to recreate that edge with abrasives. We thinned it out with the leather, but we're going to impose a little bit more of cutting action from the stone. The stone actually felt smoother for that little round of honing. So the water definitely removes the grittiness from the feel of the stone. Okay, I'm going to strop this one more time. So those are 20 passes on the razor. 20 passes on the strop. And here's our edge. And that's about as tight a focusing as I can get. I will take a photo of that, if possible. Actually, I'm going to get a better focus. Let's try that. Okay, just for a matter of reference, this is I thought I had one here. This is a photo. I guess I don't have it in here anymore. Okay, well anyhow, next step we're going to take is we're going to try and prove the pudding of this razor. I have a piece of adult hair, and I'm anticipating that this razor is going to pass a HHT test fairly easily. And you can see I'm holding the hair like between a half an inch and an inch away from the razor. And I used this phrase before. I've shaved with razors that have a HHT results like these, and they always shave very smoothly and close. Now, everyone else's beard is going to be different, and someone might want to carry on the clear water passes a little bit longer or whatever. But this was a quick and easy way to hone up this razor using this stone and the tomonagura.